Hi, today I want to demonstrate how to do the floor fly. Now, some of you may know these as pec flies, bench flies, supine flies, or butterflies, but most of the weightlifting world just calls them flies. Now, while this exercise does not give you the full range of motion that you would get if you did flies on a bench, I think that it is a very good exercise because it forces you to put your muscles under tension. So much of the time when we're lifting, we forget about the tempo of our lift and we don't put our targeted muscle group under tension long enough for those muscle fibers to freak out and essentially get expanded and exploded and ripped apart so that they can build bigger muscles. Time under tension is a very big thing when you're trying to build muscle and strength as well. So, though the floor fly is not a full range of motion exercise, it does force you to put your pecs and some of the shoulder under tension for a longer amount of time because you have to control the weight. Now, the reason you're putting those muscles under tension longer is because when you go down with the weight towards the floor, unlike in the floor press, you're not going to let your triceps and elbow touch the floor. Alright? If you do, you have that pause for a moment, and then when you go to bring the weights back together in that fly motion, you tend to yank a little bit to get that arm moving again, and that could cause a shoulder injury, and we don't want that to happen. So, when you start out, you're going to take your arms apart, and just before your elbows and your triceps hit the floor, you want to pause for just a second, just long enough to reverse that motion and squeeze back together. Alright? Don't take it all the way to the floor, because trying to get it started again and back together could potentially cause a shoulder injury. Now, if you don't have a bench, floor flies are good. They're not 100% optimal, but they are very good because they put your pecs and your shoulders under tension for a longer amount of time. So, our motion is you're going to start here with the weight, go out, don't quite touch the floor, come back together. You'll see that demonstrated in the following video. Alright, let's do some floor flies. They're going to be kind of like the floor presses, except that we're using a fly motion, bringing our arms together to work our pecs instead of a pushing motion. So it's a pulling motion, not a pushing motion. Again, you want to be careful. We're not going to let our arms come all the way down and rest on the floor like we did with the floor press. Alright? We do that because we want to prevent injury. Alright? Here we go. This time, much lighter weight because I've already done a chest and tricep workout today. Again, if you're using heavy weights, use your legs to bring them up. You want to keep your elbows slightly bent. Okay? Don't lock them out. Slightly bent on the elbows. Come down until your elbows are just about a ½ an inch off the floor. Come back together right over your face. Again, your elbows are still bent, not locked. Watch as I do a couple reps. Did you notice my elbows stayed bent? They never touched the floor. They never came all the way down. All right? The dumbbells are parallel to my body. They're not out like we had a bar grip on them. They're turned parallel so that my palms are facing each other. Again, let's try it one more time.